Hey guys, Tinker Tailor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. Today we have Dugtrio, who is the next in the evolution from Diglett, and it looks very similar to Diglett. So instead of being one little potato-looking mole guy coming out of the ground, it's three, and it's also a ground type Pokemon. And the Alolan form is ground steel, and that one also has hair, but this time it's like full-on luscious gold locks. But yeah, just the normal average Dugtrio. Just looks like a three little potatoes coming out of the ground with little pink noses and these cute little eyes staring at you. So yeah, that is the Pokemon, and when I saw this, I kind of thought they would be kind of helpful for, like, if they were really small, they'd be really helpful for digging holes to put like seeds and stuff in, or they would I feel like they could be handy around the garden. If you had them since they were a Diglett, you could probably train them to be a very productive farm animal. And so that's kind of what I went with. Originally, I was going to go with some sort of crop farm, and it ended up being a vineyard, which, I mean, it's still some sort of crop, I guess, but not quite what I was originally intending for. And that's why there are chickens initially, because I was like, it's got some crops, and they got some chickens, and the chickens probably go around eating all the bugs off the plants and whatnot. Kind of all works out in the end. But yeah, about midway through, I changed it to be a vineyard. I also want to apologize for yesterday's video. I forgot to celebrate the fact that we're finally at number 50, which I know 50 might not seem like a lot, but 50 is a lot. Like, we're getting there. I think we're about 33% of the way through Gen 1, so, they're about a third of the way through the first gen. That's pretty exciting. But I when I was putting in the packs in the description of what I used, because I put in every description all the packs that I used for that particular build, I realized it was enormous. There was so many. I think there was 3 pages on the gallery of how many packs we used. But this pack uses 7. And I'm pretty sure the only reason why a couple of them are in there is because I use a single item. Cottage Living, I think the only thing I use is that truck. That is it. Like, I don't think I use anything else. I think Cats and Dogs I use 1 plant. I think Island Living I use 1 plant. StrangerVille I might use 1 plant. So it's like, if you don't have this pack, if you have Horse Ranch, pretty much. Horse Ranch and Cottage Living has a few more things. I would say Horse Ranch and Cottage Living. If you have those packs, you'll have pretty much everything. You might just be missing out on a handful of plants, and I create like a little wine tasting area, and that has some wine glasses and a wine bottle. I think it's just the wine bottle. There are, the nectar bottle. There are other nectar bottles which I think are from Horse Ranch, so I think even if you don't have, I think it's Cozy Bistro, I never remember the name of the packs, but if you don't have Cozy Bistro, it should still be fine because you'll have the Horse Ranch ones if you have Horse Ranch. And that's not intentional. I didn't intend to use or not use certain packs, or to pack limit this one or not. It just didn't really feel right to have all the other packs attached to it. And again, I'm not intentionally doing it. It's just I build, and if I come out with lots of packs, then I come out with lots of packs, and if I come out with barely any, then I come out with barely any. But if you are looking for pack restricted builds, I do use a max of 4 packs and or kits in the starter Pokemon. So yeah, when we move to Gen 2, you'll have 9 more pack restricted builds there. And I'm also kind of doing a lot more lot size restricted builds. Lot size restricted builds. Why is that so hard to say? Long story short, I do a lot of really, really big builds, and I get overwhelmed and I lose time and it gets very stressful. So I have been picking smaller and smaller lots, um, fairly consistently. You know, I think this lot and the last one are both 30 by 20. I think the most popular size is 30 by 20. There are a few that are 40 by 30 or 30 by 30, but I would say a good majority of them are 30 by 20 because it's just so easy. I find the builds to just be the right size. You know, yesterday's build was the perfect size. It fit on the lot so well. I think if I had picked the next size up in the lot, I would have been very overwhelmed and wouldn't have had any clue as to what to do in that area. Like what do I do with all this extra space? And it would have only been, 10 extra tiles in any given direction. I could have, I mean, it's more than 10. I think it's 40 extra tiles total, but I'm saying, like, the length of the lot would have been 10 tiles longer. And yeah, it's just, not really, it would have been, I am confusing myself now. I really am confusing myself. Basically, it would have been more tiles to deal with, and I just don't want to deal with that right now. So yeah, I've been picking a lot more smaller sized lots, a bit more concise, smaller sized builds. I mean, again, yesterday, I did a build that took me 4.5 hours, but today, same size lot, it took me 49 minutes. So, I obviously can spend a lot more time on a given build, but yeah, I didn't really feel like this build needed much more than what I did to it. I feel pretty happy, pretty relaxed with it. I mean, is the landscaping the greatest? No. But do I feel happy with it? It's alright. I feel like this is the sort of place that wouldn't have very many plants other than the ones they intend to keep alive. And, you wouldn't want other plants around that would kill the plants you're trying to keep alive. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a fairly small, fairly quaint, fairly easy to deal with build. It's nothing too big, too crazy, which I enjoy. I like that. I think sometimes, yeah, I do get overwhelmed and try and do these big, crazy ideas, and sometimes I just need to take a moment, sit back, and allow myself to acknowledge the fact that small builds are also fantastic. So, yeah, like, I don't know, I've been talking about doing this type of build and that type of build, and I want to see this and I want to do that, and I think I just need to have more fun with it. I think that's the biggest thing. That's the current issue that I'm having, is that I get a little overwhelmed and stressed about this and that and the other, but here I can just, sit down and build a little vineyard with a little barn, and I imagine it's like the big proper farm for I don't know if you call a vineyard a farm, but the rest of the vineyard is sort of off limits to everyone, but they have this little vineyard here, and the grapes are, like, obviously not their best grapes, because you wouldn't want to be giving out your best grapes, but they've got a little garden patch here, and maybe this is where the original vineyard started, and you can go here and make your own wine, and it's a fun little experience, and you get to take your little wine home. I don't drink wine. I cook with it, but I don't drink with it. So to me, going to make my own wine to drink, not that exciting to me. But I know some people definitely love this sort of stuff. So yeah, I think if you would enjoy somewhere like this, let me know down below. Would you go somewhere like this and make your own wine and experience it? I think it could be fun, but yeah, I think for me personally, it is a pass. But yeah, these are the wine bottles I was talking about, the nectar bottles. The ones on the left, I believe, are Horse Ranch, and the one on the right, I think, is the Cozy Bistro. So yeah, and again, it's only 7 DLC, 7 packs and kits, so I feel pretty good about this one. We did really well with making sure not to get overwhelmed. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this build or my very short ramblings today, make sure to subscribe, because I do come out with a new video every single day, except for the last couple of days of February, but again, not really an issue we have to deal with until next February. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.